Hi there, Virgo.
Okay, nice. All right, lots of pentacles. So, to me, right off in a love reading, that means you could meet someone at work, or um, it doesn't necessarily mean they are a coworker of yours, but it could be a client, or if you're out at a business or something, even if it's for personal reasons, you could meet someone out. You could meet someone in a class. So I would definitely say, and this is a theme that's been coming up, is to, if you've been interested in doing something, I don't know, woodworking, or you like to hike or something, join those meetups. I know someone who is on a group on Facebook. She likes to hike and climb. And so someone in that group that she didn't know, but they had mutual friends, was like, hey, I'm going to go climbing today if anyone wants to come. And she said it was really scary for her, but she was like, yeah, I want to go climbing today. So they met there, and now they're dating. And it's so, you just never know. But sort of putting yourself out there is definitely something, but it doesn't seem as scary to put yourself out there if you have the added benefit if it's just something you love to do anyway. And then if you happen to meet someone that shares that same interest, like, hey, bonus, win-win. But doing that, like, I feel like you will be surprised at how fast it works. Like the first time you go, or the first time you do this, you're like, oh, the instructor's cute. And I'm not talking about like dating your professor. This has been coming up. This came up in someone else's reading too. What was that? Was that Capricorn or Scorpio? I can't remember. I mean, I guess it could be, but that's not what I'm seeing. It more where it's not. It wouldn't be like inappropriate. Where it would be, this person teaching the yoga class, where it's not like they don't have any power or anything over you. It just happens to be that they are teaching the woodworking class or the yoga class or something. Um, time to move on from old hurts and old baggage. Like, it's time to really do the work. Leave that relationship that doesn't work. Stop hanging on to a relationship, or allowing this person to sort of check in with you whenever they need something. It's like, no, it's time to totally cut the cord. Like, why are you hanging on? Why are you still friends with someone who cheated on you, or you still sleep with them periodically? It's time to move on, move away. No more toxic, abusive relationships. You're not just not going to take it. You're out of there. You absolutely. And it does take some strength, because abusive relationships are a little bit addictive, a little bit, they're a mind fuck in a way. And it's not straightforward. If someone literally screamed and beat you, I'm not saying beating, I'm not laughing, but most abusive relationships are much more subtle than that. And that's why it's hard, because there are good times, but the bad times can just outweigh the good times really, really fast. And it's like, you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm going to be strong enough to make myself vulnerable in a new relationship. And if I see any red flags, I'm out. Like, it's really as simple like that. And then having the confidence, and respect for self, that you do walk away. You're just like, this isn't working. And you're done. So, and you're like, I'll be alone. Like, I am handling my finances. I'm getting up and exercising. I got a good job. I'm invested in my hobbies. Like, I'm feeling really balanced, really confident. I'm going to go on a vacation by myself or with some friends. Like, you're like, I don't need a significant other to live a full life. But boy, if someone comes along, that would be great to add to it. But it's not, there's no sort of desperation or worry about finances. I know a friend of mine is like, oh, I really need to step up dating because my alimony is ending and I'm going to need someone to help me financially. And it's not like in a gold digger way, but I mean, it was very practical, but I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. It was very odd thought to me. And actually, she did find someone really great. So I mean, it worked for her, but I feel like you're more like, I got my shit together. I got everything handled. I don't need someone in any way. I want, if I meet someone I that adds to my life, then that's great. Then I will welcome them in. But there's no desperation or hidden strings that are attached in some way. Um, uh, no ulterior motives. Like it's not because I'm lonely or whatever. And it's going to be like a more balanced relationship. Now, with all this earth energy, you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. You could meet this person again at work, um, someone who owns their own business, in the finance business, something like that. Oh man, it just went out of my head. So this earth energy though is much more, so you're a fire sign, but these are the type of people that they're not necessarily, I mean, you do have the passion card right in the middle, but it's almost like it sneaks up on you, these people, because they're just strong and steady and practical. So for like, if you're dating a guy, like they may change the oil in your car, or they may cook dinner or do the dishes, or um, do things around the house, fix things, whatever they're into, make you like something practical, um, as opposed to like, big romantic gestures or stuff like that. So it's maybe not as obvious, but then you realize like how, they're taking their time and energy to help you and support you and do things for you. And so they show more than they tell you maybe how they feel. And so to keep your eyes open for that. Um, and it's like all of a sudden, so it may sort of creep up on you. You may like have been working with this person for a while, and all of a sudden you're like, you find yourself like, this is the person, there's a bee. This is the person I want to talk to about this. You've come to depend on them because you value their opinion, you value their friendship. They're there for you, and vice versa. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Damn, this person's hot." Like it may not have been necessarily your type, and you may have like friend zoned them just because, I don't know, they weren't your typical type. And then all of a sudden, you're like, "They are so sexy. It is so hot that he, can build something for me or help me with my, I don't know, like they're just like steady and stable and just a real, you just really connect on some level. But again, it's the passion grows after you've developed this strong foundation of relationship, and then the passion really explodes. So it's like a little bit of an opposite uh, energy, as usually it's like you meet someone and you're like, oh my god, they're hot, and it starts that way, and then those can also fizzle out. So this is kind of like a nice change where it's like you get to know them first, and then the attraction grows as opposed to fades once you realize, oh, they're kind of an asshole. once once all the passion dies away. So, and it's like they're gonna help you flourish and pursue your dreams. Like they're very, I think they just sort of slow and steady work towards their goals, which will be like kind of a lead by example, and it will inspire you to go after your dreams and go after things that you want to do, your own business maybe. Um, they're going to want to have kids if you're at that time in your life. They may have kids. And maybe that's it too. Maybe you were like, I don't want to date anyone with kids. But then you see how they are with their kids, and it's just like, you know what, this person is too great to let something like that But if you really don't want kids, then honor that, because that's a big deal. That's a big thing. So you have to look at what this says. You have to be upfront. You don't get really involved in, if you know for damn sure you don't want to date someone with kids, then don't date him in the first place. Like, be assertive with yourself, I feel like this card's saying, and stick to your guns about what you want and what you don't want. I mean, yes, learn to compromise where it comes from, but don't do that to someone. Don't sort of get into a relationship and think, oh, but they're so cute and we get along so well, but they have kids, and then in the end you're going to have to break it off after a year and a half because you're like, I just can't deal with the kids. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. Yeah, and don't tolerate any crap. Like, just if you get into a relationship with someone and you start seeing their true colors and you don't like it, just walk away. Like, no longer staying in relationships like that. You're just having none of it. This can also be a pregnancy card, so men and women, you're both equally responsible. If you don't want a kid, think about that, right? Yeah. So it's like work. You ever, you meet someone and they're like really into something and doing their own thing and motivated with their own thing. And there's just something so sexy about someone who's really like passionate about something. And so the same with you, if you're really working on yourself and I'm going to get up and exercise. I'm going to do this, and you can count on yourself to do it. You become more confident and more attractive to other people. Just in the same way, aren't we attracted to like people who are musicians and really good at putting themselves out there, like that are living, you know what I mean? And if you want to attract someone like that, then you need to be living, because they're going to find that attractive in other people. So kind of, if you want someone that's really fit and hot and you don't exercise at all, well, you need to think about things like that. Maybe you need to start finding your passion, um, and then like finds like, right? All right. I'm going to leave it at that. I feel like I'm just babbling at this point. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, guys. Take care.